Well, the first day back at practice.
It's really good. Players were excited, really enthusiastic. We got a ton of great work done in our meetings this morning, and it was really refreshing to have a week where we weren't practicing and doing finals at the same time. That's the first year that that's happened, and so the players had a great chance. They were conditioning every day last week, lifting and running, but to not have to practice and not be cramming finals before a bowl game, that was a huge advantage to our program and for the kids academically.
Does Tulsa's offense resemble what they were doing in '07?
Some of it. Not identical, but they kept a lot of the best parts. And when we played Tulsa in '07, in fact, I told the team this morning, Gus Malzahn, that was his second game as coordinator at the college level. And I remember watching the Louisiana Monroe or Louisiana Lafayette game. That was what we had to go on. And we defended that for a quarter. The rest of the 3 quarters, we didn't stop them, nor did we know what we were defending. And it was pretty good. So we've seen elements of that, and then there's some other things that are a little bit different. But their quarterback's a very good player.
Was that maybe as crazy of a game as you've ever been involved in?
Yeah, I don't even remember the plays other than we didn't stop any of them. But it was really helpful for us to then start to get a feel for what that offense was, do some research on it, and the rest of the year everyone struggled with it as winning a national championship at Auburn. There's a lot of good elements, so it was helpful that we saw it that early, just a tough lesson.
You think you would prefer to have your bowl game post-Christmas as opposed to pre for the reasons you said?
It's a tough trade-off, but I don't want the kids to have to do what they've done with finals and practice again. That's too difficult, so even though we're having to work around Christmas, I would rather do that.
And then while we were gone, you had a player leave your program, and Jake Heaps.
Yep.
What was your initial thought on that when he came to you?
I would have much rather have had Jake stay, wanted him to stay, love him as a young man, and he has such great football skill. And I've said many times I believe he's an NFL quarterback, and I thought he would have done a great job leading our program here. I was hopeful that the hard lessons of watching, but the valuable lessons of watching another quarterback while biding your time through a redshirt year next year would have been what he chose. But I agreed to help him, and that's what I've continued to do through the transfer process. But my choice would have been, I wish he would have chosen to be here.
Did you try to talk him out of it at all?
Not necessarily talk him out of it. I just made sure he knew what he was choosing, and that's all I ever do. The chance of influencing, arguing, or doing anything else, I just made sure he knew what we were going to do with him, what the benefits I saw for that plan would be, and then allowed him to make his choice.
When did you know?
I knew the day after. Let's see, the day after the Hawaii game is when, because we had talked again. We were meeting about once a week from about halfway on the season after the Utah State game, just staying in contact. So there wasn't all of a sudden some culminating event or out of nowhere. The conversations had been going for a long time, but after the Hawaii game is when Jake had made that decision.
So was it a surprise?
Not necessarily a surprise. I was hopeful it would go the other way.
This practice model you're using, is it the same one that you've used before the loss?
Pardon me?
The practice model before the bowl games, and how confident are you?
I'm very confident. It's helped us win 5 of our last 6 bowl games. The first year I didn't really know how to prepare well for a bowl game, as I didn't really know how to be a very good head coach. But starting from my second year and winning 5 of the last 6, this is a very similar, if not identical, model.
Third trip to Texas, is that a little bit over?